Okay, can everyone see my screen? I hope so. So, this is what I'm. Okay, so this is what I do. Uh, I'm gonna go through my sub-generals first. Anya, can you see my screen now? Hello. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that you guys can see my screen.
You wanna know why I said real fuck off real quick?
Let me just see. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So this is what I have. Uh, so what I debuff is range, attack, and siege HP. These are the primary things I try to debuff, right? And at my size, what am I going to get? Like mostly uh, sieged or range attack, ranged, right? And like siege attack is something you can debuff in your sleep. So don't even worry about siege attack. If someone says like if some gear or something has siege attack on it, just ignore it. You can debuff siege attack in your sleep. Doesn't matter, right? So don't worry about siege attack. Siege HP is really tough to debuff. Siege defense is also really tough to debuff, but I mean it's not that important. So HP because it basically is like how many hit points your siege has. Siege can actually one tap siege, right? So if it debuffs enough of your HP, your siege is gonna get one tap. So siege HP is like super important. If you are like even if you're like 7-8B and you're getting solo sieged, you gotta debuff siege HP. But the only reason why I say at 7-8B you should not debuff siege HP is because even with that debuff, if a K44 or K43 sieges you, all your siege is gonna die regardless, like whatever debuff you have. So that doesn't really help. But if you're a big player, you are debuffing range attack and you're debuffing siege HP. I am debuffing around 2300 range attack and close to 1200 CHP on the wall. Do not confuse your attacking CHP debuff with your defensive CHP debuff. Those are two different things. Your attacking CHP debuff can be around 1500. Your defensive HP debuff can be around 1200. It can be like 300, 350 different. Don't confuse that, right? So few of the gears which are like really good is the bourbon armor. If you see, the bourbon armor has range HP debuff, siege HP debuff, and range attack debuff, right? Why is range HP debuff important? So I would say that's probably like the third most important thing because your range, like when you're getting ranged, the range is killing caps, right? But siege T9 and T10 is killing range also. So if the range HP is debuffed, they will kill in lesser hits. So I mean that's the next thing I'm focusing on. Even when the ground gets to range, how many attacks, how many rounds the ground needs to kill range depends on the HP of the range, right? So that's something I'm working on now. Like now that I have like more or less maxed or gotten where I want to get to with CHP, I'm working on range HP now. So yeah, I should probably change this to this that whatever that's called the Parthenian thing. And the second important thing is this, right? Debuff siege HP and range HP, debuffs range attack. So amazing. These two gears, if you, I think this is a level 4 gear if I remember. I'm not sure. Uh, but yeah, these two gears definitely like put it here, right? Uh, the Abbas braces. So this is a little confusing, right? You can either have it on your secondary siege or you can have it on your subs. I think I've gotten to a point where I don't get attacked so much. I can just remove it from subs and put it on my secondary general, which is used much more than my wall, than my subs. But yeah, you can make a choice on this. So advanced braces, of course, 40% CHP, great gear to have. But yeah, so we'll cover the gears later. First of all, we'll go with the generals I have, right? So, and if you can have this Siege Ballista, it debuffs another Siege HP 20%. So that's a great spec to have. So the gear, the general combo I have is one Jiglamesh, one Hojo. Let me just do the. Okay. Yeah. So I have like two Hojo, one. Uh, why is this not maxed? Okay, let me just max it now. Okay, so yeah, just a minute. Okay, okay. So that just added another 25% range attack. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so I have like I should have like two Jigglemish fully spec'd. I love Nordic Barbarian King. I have three Baldwin. I love Baldwin. Two Hojo. Hojo is like extremely range focused. So um, probably not the best choice if you're looking to do siege HP. Anthony is again like extremely range focused, doesn't do a lot to siege HP until like the fifth specs, I think. Yeah, 25%. Before that, I don't see much siege HP. Yeah, so Anthony and Hojo are like extremely range focused. It depends if you're getting ranged more. I really need to work on the Yankerol. I need to do the Aglop event to get more siege HP out of him. But if you see, like, just the normal specs, this is like the first is like 30%, and on the fourth there is 50%. So there is 50% siege HP even before you actually do any of this, right? So here is 60%, 75%, and 90%. And like in the third, fourth, and fifth stars, I need to get going on that. I have been lazy. But yeah, so Jan Carroll is a great choice. You can get him from the Aglaup event. Gilgamesh. The only problem with him is 50% CGHP is in the 10th star. So unless you can get him to 10th star, it's not really great. And both Gilgamesh and Jan Carroll are like more CHP and mounted attack focused against someone like a Baldwin who does both range attack and siege HP. So I think Baldwin is about 55% siege HP. 10% here, and 45. So yeah, Baldwin is like 45% siege HP, but he does a lot of ranged also. So if you're struggling with like a balance between range and siege HP, Baldwin is your guy. Love Baldwin. NBK is also something like 10% in the first in the sixth star, 30% by the seventh star, and 45% in 10 stars. Does he have anything? No, here, nothing here. Oh yeah, NBK is like has more mounted than ranged. I don't see much ranged here, range attack except the specialty, like the first specialty. Even this is like mounted attack, right? So I would say Baldwin for me is at least a better choice than NBK. I need to do the numbers again. I have a spreadsheet which I'll share with you guys about sub generals, but these are my primary choices. If you want to debuff ground, you can look at Darius. You can look at the new guy, Narcissus or something. I just keep saying Narcissus because everyone calls me Narcissus. So I mean, that just always like rotates in my head that I'm a Norse. I mean, yeah, And there's some like new guy point. What the fuck was his name? Okay, I forgot. Yeah, Yon Gisham is also like okay for Narcissus, Yon Gisham, and then there's some Papchio or something, some guy. Yeah. Panchutio for ground. Yeah, that's pretty good for ground. Okay, so let me just look at the equipments. So the equipments you really need from Civ Gear is this bourbon, as I said, is amazing for this bourbon right here. It's amazing for siege HP and range attacks and range HP. Except that, oh no, nothing. Range defense, range HP. No, I want to use it on my PvP general. There's a Sasnian. This has siege HP, but only 20%. I'm not sure you want to put that in against the 48% range attack, which you get from the Parthenian ring. This is nothing good. Range HP, range defense, range 2 HP. Okay, you can put this, but nothing great. Range defense, range attack. Yeah, I use that because it has range attack debuff, range defense debuff. It's not important range defense, but it's range attack, so I use that. Siege defense, range attack, and I use this too. Range attack and siege attack. Yeah, I use this too. The most important gear set you have for range attack debuff is the Augustus set. You see, like all of these gears have range attack. Uh, no, not this one. Sorry, but the otherwise. Oh no, this one too. Fuck that. Okay, this one has. This one has. So if you just like the Augustus set has in itself like 35% here, 69% here, and 29% here. So that's 96% range attack debuff from the Augustus set. And just remember one thing that you need to put it 2-2-2 because if you go to the set bonus, it has enemy troop attack at 2. So you just like do 2 of Augustus and some other civilization set on that. And yeah, just don't make it more than 2. So that's pretty much it. Okay, subgens again. So if you see, like every time I have an Augustus set, it's 2, and then I have like some other like the bourbon and the hands boot. What are the hands boot? Round troop HP and siege machine defense. Okay, yeah, nothing good, but yeah, I mean, not nothing important. You don't need to get that piece. Uh, I'm of course a dirty coiner, so I get everything. So yeah, so usually like everywhere I have the Augustus set, it's like 2, and then it's like this, and this is Augustus, and then I have the other gears. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's my account. Uh, okay, so I'll try to move back to Discord, and I'll try to. How the fuck do you stop sharing? Stop sharing. Okay. Alright, guys. So I am going to take questions if anyone have now. Hey Nox, how are you doing?
Hey, all good there. How are you?
I'm good, bro. Sorry. Okay, I'm happy to take questions if you anyone has any questions now. Okay. I saw hand raised. My challenge is Catherine is that if you're able to get enough blood of Ares to fully ascend us several times, you're better off getting Jankar without ascension or Baldwin and Kettleman, etc. Yeah, I mean, Nox has answered it prop. Nox has said whatever I wanted to. Siege defense without caking 46 times. Okay, that's a very specific number, 46 times. Uh, so you don't need to cake 46 times. One time for the, uh, yeah, I think Zar is right, Nero, and one time for the Bourbon armor, and one time for the Augustus armor. These are the best gears. The other gears I use for CJHP is the Aztec shield and the mm, and the um, Tasnian ring. But yeah, I mean, you can get Nero. That's the easiest solution. I think Nox can correct me. It's like 35 or 40% at 2 stars. Nero, CJHP debuff. Was it this set of debuff gear rather than Civ gear? The Parthenian gears are the best set for except the Civ gears. Yeah, 35% at 2 stars. Yes, I think he means without caking. Uh, okay. So of course, without caking, you cannot have the premium generals. So, and if you have a lot of Nero, you are going to be weak on range attack defense. So yeah, it's just um, a trade-off. Have any ways to get the 12 sub slot? When you say that, how many siege and arch rallies does it take to lower your power enough for another hit? Or how many siege and arch? Uh, I don't get rallied much. And if I get rallied, I'll just heal. So, uh, yeah. So the best FTP options are Andrew Jackson and Nero. Um, but like if you use Andrew Jackson, you forego some CHP debuff. If you use Nero, you forego some range attack debuff. So that's what it is. With Nero and Parthian only. Okay, that's for Rom. Guys, if you have anyone has a question, I'll be happy to answer. You just gotta raise your hand. Yeah, siege defense isn't important, but for me, I mean, I'm at 2300 range attack debuff. It's because I haven't been hit by more. I'm at 1200 siege HP debuff. I need to work on something, right? So I'm working on range HP and siege defense. It's not important, not something people need to focus on. Just ignore that part. It's just something I am focusing on. I use split sets for blazons to get the estimate for yeah, full set. Um, no, I don't. I don't. I don't use the split sets. No, I use like the full sets. I think overall the 10% buffs are better.
It's fine.
Best conquest gives for debuff. Uh, I don't remember which are the conquest ones. I have a video on this. You just gotta mm, look at that. I think the Antoine leg armor is the sorry. The Antoine leg armor is a debuff. Is a conquest, right? Someone can correct me. Let me just check quickly.
Yeah, the helmet, leg armor, and ring are always cake 4. Boots, armor, and weapon are cake 10.
Yeah, so Hans leg armor is also
Yeah, it's also 4.
Hans yeah Hans leg armor and the Augustus leg armor. These both have siege HP debuff in Conquest gears, and and it also like the Augustus leg armor also has range attack debuff. Yeah, except for Choreo. It's a very interesting thing. Choreo's leg armor is a level 10 gear. So a very interesting way to do it is like how Lost did it was put Sasnian pants on the defense general. Yeah, Pandora also does that. Sasnian leg armor on Volgen. So if you don't want a cake, then that's good. You can put Sasnian on your Volgen. And yeah, as Zar said, you can, if you do Alliance boss long enough, you can get Choreo also. Yeah, Choreo you can get from Alliance boss, but it takes time. It's just not like immediate though. Okay, double barrel blazers, example, better to have flat attacks or marching attacks. Okay. Uh, okay, blazers. Uh, I do all marching, but I try to get all marching. See, anywhere if it's just like range attack, um, like it depends on the attributes, right? Like if for range attack, I will just want marching. Marching is better than even in range in rally. Um, it takes a little bit away, like maybe 4 or 5%, but marching you can use it for solo and rally. So for range attack, I will want marching as my first priority. For siege attack, I would want just siege attack as my first priority. It reduces the attack percentage, but I want siege attack on both sides of the wall. So I want like a siege attack, I want both. For mounted HP, I would want defensive mounted HP more than anything else. For siege HP, I would want like just siege HP if I can. For ground attack, I would want marching ground attack. I won't even want in rally ground attack. Uh, for mounted attack in rally because I would never like I would generally not solo mounted attack. So yeah, it just depends on what that attribute is and how you want to use that. Oh hey Greycup, how are you? Illicit, you can even invite someone to speak yourself, bro, instead of sending the photo. I did not see Zar's raised hand. Yeah, hi Greycup, can you hear us? Greycup, can you hear us? Hello. About how debuffs work, all what comes and what doesn't in rally listening and reinforcements. Okay, so debuffs work in a very simple way in a rally. Uh, the setters or the person with the highest debuff joining the rally, his debuffs take place in attack. When defending, either the defenders or if you are being reinforced, the person with the highest debuff reinforcing you's debuffs work. But when I say the person who's reinforcing you, his debuffs work, his subs doesn't work. The debuffs you get are only from the march he's reinforcing with, nothing else. Do you have a list of what you guys were just talking about? Uh, what list do you mean? Sorry. No, it's about 200, 400 per piece of supremacy here. If it's not okay. I don't think you can get, like from the civil, you can get for $400. Not a supremacy gear. I think you need somewhere around 1500 or something like that, a little more than that. Is this new Archer General worth it? I really don't think this new Archer General is worth it. The new Archer General is worth it in the sense that you definitely need to get him to the third covenant. If you see his third covenant, it's a double starred range attack and siege attack, adds 5% across the board. But except that, like if you want to use the range archer general, I don't think it's worth it. How much coin does it take to debuff a certain K45 rally setter from C2? Uh, if you're talking about, it depends on which rally setter you're talking about. If you're talking about, um, I mean, who were the rally setters? If you're talking about, okay, I don't want to troll. Okay. Listen equals to Blizzard, we're just speaking of list. Uh, yeah, again, like, see, these are like, these are not seals, senates, hip trios, etc. for debuff. Uh, I don't think there is any debuff in seals and senates, no. Swift treasures is Swift treasures is just like I mean, you can't do anything once you upgrade Swift treasures. Those debuffs gets upgraded. So I did not want to talk about much. I am missing something. I didn't see any debuffs in seals and senates. So um, yeah. Let me help you. X-Wing wants to know how to fully debuff BK. You can FTP and debuff BK. BK's buffs are not going up. Is BK on the call? Uh, okay. What are your thoughts on flat attacks or siege attacks since it's always debuff now? From what I see, flat would benefit for give more given. Also, we can have 1k flat attacks on general with the battle tested plus the 2 gears. How? Okay. Mm. I don't. Me personally, I would never put a flat attack on siege, and that's because uh, I use it for big siege also, and now I have T16, and even for T15, I don't think I have done the maths one time inaccurately and one time accurately. I don't think flats on siege work, uh, and I don't want to have two generals, one for flat, one for uh, percentage. We can do the math. I mean, if someone can prove me wrong with the math, I am glad to change. But um, I would say that unless someone shows me the math for it, I would just run percentage, and I would not like do two generals, one for flat and one for T11 and one for big siege. So Viper, give me answer. Geek, you can just like let go of breakfast one day and coin enough to get the 12th sub, bro. Don't worry. Doesn't mean total debuff takes effect on defense or reinforce as it takes the debuff. So it takes the debuff of the defender or the person who is reinforcing with the highest debuff march. So if my attack march's debuff is siege HP of 804, if I reinforce someone and his siege HP debuff is less than 804, the 804 is the siege HP debuff for that. Why are your spreadsheets more complicated than my okay. If no one has any questions, I will go on to speak about a little bit about what you should be looking to debuff at what power, and we will call it a night after that. Okay, a night, day, whatever, depends on where you are. Okay, so at anywhere below 10B, I seriously don't think that you should even look at debuffing CHP. Why do I say that? Because if you are getting sieged, like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but you're probably not going to get sieged by someone like a K40, right? You're getting sieged by a K43, K44, and irrespective of how much siege HP you debuff, you're gonna lose all your siege. It's not gonna help. The only thing that might help is reinforcements, And if you're getting reinforced, you're already taking the CHP debuff of the person who's reinforcing you. So I would say below 10 billion, don't work on CHP debuff. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. It really doesn't matter. Uh, you probably you're probably better off working on. See, like just because I say that CHP debuff is important and I keep on saying it everywhere, it doesn't mean it is for everyone. It's just not for everyone. So yeah, what I would look to debuff under 10B is range attack, uh, because range, how much it hurts can really differ depending on how much you debuff. And so below 10B, have a lot of Andrew Jacksons. You're probably not gonna. I mean, probably not coining too much. So have a lot of Andrew Jacksons, debuff range, and again, like 10B, you probably start getting calved after two or three. So debuff mounted troop attack. Have some Darius also for debuffing ground, so that people don't get the ground clear. Debuff ground defense. Something Lost used to do was very interesting. Like I always have the Aki axe on it, but Lost used to have the spear for debuffing both ground defense and ground HP on that. So yeah, it's just what you do at 10B. So Viper didn't touch on ground attack debuff. This talk sucks. I am just speaking about uh, ground attack debuff. So praying health probably just as much. Yeah. What is the most effective to counter siege attack? Just siege. Could you explain your question a little bit more? Like, how are you countering siege attack exactly? Okay, for 10 to 20B, uh, I think you just have enough siege to actually care about siege HP. So I would say get your siege HP to around 600, 700 at least. It's not that difficult to get it to 600, 700. Just some gear combinations, even some level 4 gear combinations, and I don't even have to like write it down. You just go to the Civ Trigger and just see which gears have siege HP. Like the Aztec shield has siege HP, the Sasnian ring has siege HP. So yeah, I mean, you can just go and see all the Civ treasures and see which has siege HP. It's not that difficult. So, and then it's about general choices. If you can coin a little bit more uh, in events like the Bonaparte, you can get Gilgamesh from there. If you can coin the Aglope, you can get Jan Carroll from there, something like that, right? So you can get to 600 siege HP debuff, and then it's all about range attack again. At 20B, you're probably not gonna get like 12, 13, 14, 15B. You're probably not gonna get like siege rallied. You're probably going to get range rallied. So I would still mainly focus on range attack. But at 15 to 20B, what would change from 10B is I would not focus on ground attack or ground defense debuffs at all. So that is what will really change between below 10B. Below 10B, I would still focus on ground attack debuff. I will have Darius. I will have Yon Gisum. I think Yon is like much easier to find. I will have Narcissus or all these guys. But yeah, pushing CHP defense above 500 is hard as low coiner. Yes, Zar. So I assumed 10 to 20B on C5 is not an extreme low coiner. So I would say like 10 to 20B on C5 is a mid coiner, right? Like maybe a cake in 2 months or something like that. So that's what I assumed when I said that 600 HP is very easy.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, if you the way you basically look at it is you debuff. when you debuff, you lower the amount of troops you need to defend. So if you cannot raise the debuff high enough, you can counter with troops. That's one of the reasons why the walls work, etc. Especially for siege, T15 siege is probably the most important defense improvement that you can get.
I agree 100%. Like, um, Siege, one because of layers, and this because like it's just one extra layer for Siege to kill, and Siege 215 are like so tanky in defense. So I totally agree with Nox.
And you don't even need like 10 million of them or whatever. I mean, I have 2 million T15 siege in my keep, and compared to when I only had T14 siege, it made it made all the difference on going positive against T15 siege hits. Now I'm going negative again on hits from Viper, for example, because he has T16, but 15 against 15, then all of a sudden it becomes a very different beast.
Hello.
Hi, Posey. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Um, right. Well, I'm a Ghostable K40. I coin reasonable, medium. So when I go out, I have plans to go out at about K42, K43. So would you suggest that I would go straight to Archer and Siege debuffs?
What's your power?
2 billion. I'd think about that.
You should start with the ground, right? Like at anywhere below 4 or 5B, if you're coming across like a big K44, K45, just gonna start with ground. They're just gonna ground you or cav and ground you. So I don't think Archer and Siege should be a top priority at the moment.
Um, well, thing is, a lot of the rallies that we run are started with Archer on a lot of them, and I noticed that in All Stars as well, that it would be Archer first, 9 times out of 10, the majority of times. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, like, wanting to hear your advice on that and what your thoughts are, really.
Yeah, it's an evolutionary thing, right? Like, so if it's Archer first, it will go to Siege first. Like uh, as a continent progresses, it will go to Siege first and then Archers. Uh, but yeah, like, what are you asking? Like, what do you need to debuff first, or what do you need to build
What would
first?
you suggest, like, going out at K42, K43? Because the research is going to be a lot more, I suppose, focused on that in the attack. And yeah, just making sure that I don't waste my time debuffing one when, because of the keep level that I'm
So,
going to decide to grow outwards, is.
you gotta debuff like anything below 10B, you gotta debuff like anything below 5B, you gotta debuff ground attack and ground defense and ground HP. That's the first thing you debuff, and then Rom actually pointed it out here. And as you keep growing, your priorities change, right? Above 5B, you start debuffing range attack, and then like above 10B, you start debuffing CJP. So this is how you go about it. It's not like you cannot like the debuffs is also evolution, right? Depending on who you face in BS, what your power is. So it's not like at every stage it cannot be the same thing you debuff.
No. But I'm a K40 at 2B. I don't know what my power's going to be when I'm K42, K43. So
Depends on
if
how many.
my ghostable power is 5B at K42 or K43, should
If you're
I then jump?
ghosting, if you're ghosting, then you don't really need to worry about debuffing, right?
No, but if
Well,
I hope you
you also
understand
need
what
to
it is that
debuff
it's saying, is that
offense.
my ghostable power right now at K40 is 2B. I don't know what my ghostable power would be before I decide to go out. So it could be that at K42, K43 that my ghostable power is 5B.
Okay. I don't think
So
it will be 5B. It will be somewhere around 3B. And my answer stands. You got to start with ground attack, ground defense, ground HP.
yeah, okay. No, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.
So maybe one thing to add that hasn't been touched upon that much so far was so far we mainly talk about debuffing for defense. Something to keep in mind also is to debuff when you solo, and it's not necessarily applicable to everybody. Um, but when you solo attack, you want to debuff, for example, uh, siege attack, siege HP, cav HP, depends on what kind of keep you're attacking. So it wouldn't apply to everybody here, but for the people that do a lot of solos, also focus on what am I attacking with and how can I do more damage with what I'm attacking with.
Right. Extremely good point. So,
Mm.
like,
Hi, I'm
hi, Raina. How are you?
40. All right, I'm a 40 at 12.5B right now. I'm about to open T15 Siege in the next week, and I just wondered if I need to change my generals. Y'all touched on the fact your 15s had made a big difference in your defenses. Did you change ball generals at that point? I'm right now using Leonidas and Takanuga, or however you pronounce that.
Or I think Rom can answer this better. Sorry, Nox can answer this better.
I didn't follow the entire question. I'm sorry.
When you got your T15s to help defend your keep, did you change your wall generals to support those better?
Yes. So before I got T15 Siege, I basically had a cav defense. So I used Boudica with Lee Masa.
Uh-huh.
And when I got T15 Siege and sufficient T14 and T13 Siege to sort of stay alive,
Mm-hmm.
I switched to Takanaka as assistant. So I still have Boudica, but I use Takanaka as assistant to try to buff Siege more. Um, in all honesty, I'm still at a place as a K41 24 bill. I'm still at a place where Siege hurts. Siege from Viper hurts a lot more than Siege from others, but it still hurts.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
very glad I don't have to worry about him.
so the difference is that Viper does, I don't know, 1.5, 1.6 bill or something on me in a Siege solo heavy T16. Others that only have T15, I usually go positive. So I lose like 300-400 mil. They use 700-800, something like that. And the main point is to get them to a point where they stop doing seed solos so they just because they know they won't go positive. Um, so Takanaka, Leo. The moment I started keeping siege in keep is the moment that I tried to buff siege as much as possible. And that's for
Okay.
me. That started when I started you getting T15s.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nox, what do you think about Leo and Leo 3 and Tekanaka?
Um, do they work together? I think they conflict, right?
Someone asked a question.
I don't know if Leo and Takanaka work. If they do, yeah, they could work. But I think if you do Leo and Takanaka and go full siege, you might be better off getting someone like Teach on wall, like Edward
Right,
Teach.
right. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so Edward Teach has a lot of like universal siege buffs. He has a very high siege HP, higher than Takanaka does, and he works together with Leo, for example. So if you put him on wall, he he's probably better as an assistant than a lot of the actual wall generals are. And it's a similar scenario as Lee Miyamasa for Cav was, and the Minamoto for range, and a few others.
Right. So poor one, use unattended Leonhard. Why do people use Dewey on the wall? A question from X-Wing Pilot.
Dewey is actually better than Marshall, buff wise.
Right. Is this like before the ascension or after the ascension?
Yeah, both assuming both fully ascended.
Okay. What would be the trade-off generally? And are you including the martial skin also?
Yes, but so it kind of depends on what kind of keep you have. X-Wing is right, it depends on arch attack. But for the majority of people that are starting to switch from Cav to Siege, they don't have sufficient archer layers survive survive, for example, a Cav rally. And Dewey is like sort of this intermediate. So if you start switching wall generals, if you start with Leonidas with whatever assistant, then go to, for example, Boudica with Neomasa, then go Boudica Takanaka, then, for example, Dewey Takanaka, and later Marshall Takanaka. But that's a point where you have like, I don't know, 15 mil T12 range and 14 mil T13, etc. Is where your range is going to be the one doing a lot of the killing in your keep. And for the majority of people, that doesn't apply early on.
Right. Do we have any more questions, or maybe we call it a night, Nox? We'll wait 2 minutes for any more questions. Leonidas with Dewey as assistance, Nox. What are your thoughts on it?
I've never been a big fan of Leonidas, mainly because I thought Leonidas is early stages. So if you look at RSP, and it's probably the same in VIG, the majority of people that have Leonidas have him as like a backup wall general in case all the calves are dead. And I think that's what he's for. If your keep is largely ground, then Leonidas is not bad. But once you start getting further, Leonidas doesn't have a place anymore. In a 10 plus B keep, you should not run the Leonidas.
Right. I agree with that completely. How do you protect calves on a range hit? Uh, Question from Larox Knox.
KF HP, range debuff. Those are two critical points there. Then
That's very simple, yeah.
yeah,
Cav
so
HP and
up your KF HP, have flats work then, and up your range attack debuff and range HP debuff. Those those put together will make that your calves will probably still largely die in a single hit, but they will hurt the others more.
yeah, and I would add ground speed to it, like so that your ground reaches fast enough.
Yeah,
I think ground speed and calf speed on the wall are like very important skill skill books. I keep repeating it every session because well, there's a lot of other opinions on it, but we have tested it extensively, and I think you definitely need to give cap speed and ground speed on the wall. Nock, would you want to add to that?
yeah, I agree. I had this discussion so many times. It's always a sort of sensitive point. I don't know, it was somewhere August, I think. I took two rallies from Vig, both about 30 mil in size. One with ground speed on the wall, and one without ground speed on the wall. And I don't know if I still have the reports. I think I do, but I would have to search. Um, the difference wasn't really a lot of power. The difference was more which troops killed and which troops got killed.
Right. Uh, a next question from Aurora. Can you talk about siege layers considering them for defense purposes?
Uh, yeah, don't do T4.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say like for siege just do like above T9, T10, T11, T12, T13. Yeah, what Zar said. So
yeah, yeah. So my OCD always kicks in, and I have my lower layers the same size as my other layers, except calves because it looks prettier. T9, T10, I have I think 20 or 30 mil. T11, I have way more because I use that offensively as well. And T12, 10 mil, something like that. 13, I also have a lot higher. And then 14, I have something like 15 mil. And then 15, I have 2 mil. So I do have T4s, but I don't have a T4 wall, like somewhere, like sometimes it's being said. And that's more like a troll point by now.
right. Which showed the pick and Derek proved ground and cap speed when speed mechanics debunked. Uh, okay, Nightrock. So to be very fair, at the end of the day, we can only guide you to the best of our knowledge, and to the best of our knowledge, speed books work. Um, there might be other opinions, and I'm not going to go into someone else's opinion, but to the best of our knowledge, speed books work. Something we have tested at the bigger scales. It entirely up to you whether you want to believe us or not. But if you ask us, I still have speed books in both defense and offense, and I suggest you do the same. But it's okay if you don't. Do you still ghost cavalry or siege when taking a hit at your level? Ghosting. I want to cover ghosting. Ghosting makes you vulnerable to taking rallies. So, like to, I mean, if you have like two marches out for joining rallies and you're hosting one march, you're basically having to like call back 3 March, which almost makes it impossible to port. Uh, so I wouldn't host anything. I don't believe in hosting, to be honest. Not if you're playing a rally team. Nox, would you like to have your opinion on that?
We often say that if you ghost, we kick you off the call and don't invite you to the battlefield the next battle. So that probably sets the tone of what we think of ghosting in the team.
Right, exactly, and it makes it difficult to like even join rallies if someone's hosting. So
And
yeah,
that's the main complexity. So we rather have someone lose a march or a few marches than that everybody stops being able to join rallies or that we miss rallies on keeps. Because when people ghost, they join the wrong rally. It starts moving up and
right,
down, or it causes it to be very difficult for people to be able to join quickly.
right, exactly. Yeah, we tell people not to ghost too. Uh,
Yeah,
do we need debuff books for duty officers? Are there debuff books for duty officers? Oh, man, I'm missing the game so much. Nox, would you happen to know anything about that?
I think there are. I think I remember seeing something from Small PT on that.
No, for duty
Uh,
officers though. Maybe
yeah, for
for, I
duty.
mean,
Yeah, they're defending books.
they're like defending buffs, not like from the night packs. There are defending buffs, but not like debuffs though.
I don't remember. It shows that I don't have them.
Yeah, the duty officers they are defensive buffs, not debuffs. Arena. I don't remember that being debuffs. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm, I'm not sure. There are debuff books for subs, like uh, like I said, but not sure.
Uh, why would anyone want to test this? I did this for 10. Yeah, yeah, they were not debuffs. They were defense. Uh, okay, guys. Any more questions? I'm gonna wait 2 minutes, or we're gonna end the session. Baby Shark. Hi, Baby Shark. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
We're good. Thank you so much. How
Uh,
can we help you?
is I just joined. Can y'all repeat everything?
Sorry.
I said I just joined. Can y'all repeat everything?
That would be.
A good summary: debuff good, buff better, troops best.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat again what I repeated.
Okay, okay. Y'all gonna put it on YouTube or something for the people that missed it.
Yeah, sure. I think it is recorded and someone can put it on.
All right, cool.
All right. Thank you
I
so
was
much.
if I was gonna repost it on YouTube or something. Really was my question.
All right. Cheers. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hey, thank you, everybody.